Welcome to Spooky Sunday. We'll be watching terrifying supernatural encounters in a war zone by Wartime Stories.
The subject of the paranormal is a fascination to many,
Okay.
no less those who have experienced it.
Indeed.
Soldiers fighting on the front lines of any war are clearly no stranger to these experiences. Why this is such a commonality across the documented wars throughout humanity is up for speculation. Perhaps where there is much death and suffering, there are often strange and unexplained happenings.
Too
But
many
it cannot
spirits.
otherwise be denied that wherever you go in the world, there exists a variety of localized beliefs. So when soldiers with their own set of beliefs and experiences from one part of the world find themselves in a distant country, unfamiliar to them, is it really that surprising when these soldiers then encounter things that the locals have long considered ordinary and routine?
Ordinary.
Of course, to them, the experience can be terrifying. It's not something they would have ever expected to see. Whether you believe in spirits or not, seeing is believing.
Yep.
And for these soldiers,
Agree.
they are
Couldn't
the ones
agree
telling
more.
us they saw something. This is the smoke pit, and these are true stories
What
from
is a
service members
smoke
serving
pit?
in Iraq about their encounters with something the locals would collectively identify as jinn.
I haven't Googled it, but are genies like the Aladdin genie lamp thingy is the same as the jinn? Is it the same kind of being, or did it originated from that or something?
The Baghdad Mall.
Well,
Hey, stop! What's the matter, man? You see somebody? Frickin'
I
kid, man.
heard a
Scared
child.
the shit out of me.
Say
Which way to go? God.
Hey, ran into this back room over here.
Hey!
For some reason, if we encounter like a child's laughter at the middle of the night, it will be so scary. I don't know why, but it's so scary.
Come out of there, now!
Stop
Do not let me
laughing,
come in
bro.
there and get you. Come out, now!
Now,
Ah, stupid kids, man.
Hey, kid. I said, come...
where he go?
What the... Everything alright, man?
No.
I just saw a kid run in here. Did you see him come out?
Bro, I didn't see anybody. Are you sure you weren't just seeing things?
You, man. I saw a fucking kid. As much as I'm looking at you right now, I saw a fucking kid run in here.
And language.
All right, well, maybe you should be the first to go down for sleep shift tonight, huh?
To hell with this place, man. Gives me the creeps.
And the kid laughing is scary.
This first story was submitted by an Army veteran using the handle @BlackJeepConvertible. He writes,
He likes jeeps.
in Iraq, we lived in a war-torn 4-story shopping mall, which means we also pulled our own security, solo.
Solo.
One of the rooms we used to pull security became infamous for paranormal activity,
Damn!
which started around midnight with eerie, unexplained noises, the activity then peaking around 3 a.m.
It's the witching
with
hour.
crazy, unexplainable stuff. In that room, we sat in a corner, staring out the windows. We would hear feet shuffling and footsteps behind us the entire shift, so we all got used to it. It's not like we had
Getting used to it is kind of bad. Who knows that there's really an enemy and not just ghosts around?
a choice anyways. Then
True.
around 3 a.m., the witching hour, crazy stuff starts happening.
The witching hour.
One of my friends had a giant black trash bag that was lying next to him.
did that?
It was full
Uh-huh.
of empty Rip-It cans and water bottles that got flung into the air,
Whoa.
throwing trash everywhere.
Whoa.
He got so scared, he threw his chair across the room and called
I would
SOG
too.
to spend the rest of his shift with him. We had
Stop.
sergeants chase kids into empty rooms when there was only one door in and out. We were supposed to be the only ones inside the mall. No local civilians, especially not kids. Another one of my friends ended up literally frozen in fear when he saw a grayed out, transparent Iraqi soldier walk up and sit next to him
sit next
during
to
his
him.
shift. He said
at
he
least
just
he's
froze
sitting
the entire shift
next to him.
and tried not to look at it.
Be like,
The
hey,
entire
bro.
exterior of the mall was riddled with bullet holes and craters, so we figured a bunch of people died there before us. But we later found out the one room we experienced the most activity in was formerly a discotheque, a party room, club,
They like to
where
party
Saddam's
too.
two sons tortured and killed people.
Never mind.
That room also led to the roof, where they had apparently tossed people off of the building.
Damn.
My
Never
worst
mind.
witching hour experience wasn't as bad as others. My shift that night was midnight to 0400. It started with feet shuffling behind me for hours, which wasn't too bad to get used to. And I was trying not to look away from the windows where there was at least some ambient light coming in, because when you're wearing night vision, all you see is a green circle through one eye and complete darkness through the other. It gets really creepy when you turn your head, because if you do see something scary, it won't show up until it's directly in front of you due to the loss of peripheral vision.
Holy shiz. I do wonder if you can actually see things through like the night visions. Those like TV programs that catches ghosts or something. I think it's not the night vision, but it could also be the night vision. I don't know. But I don't want something in front of me when I turn my head.
The night vision lens. So, after maybe 3 hours of staring into nothingness, it's now about 0300.
Oh no.
And all of a sudden, I hear and feel a whisper next to my ear, as if someone had their lips half an inch away from my ear.
You perv.
Don't fuck with me.
What did
You
he
don't
say?
scare the shit. I will shoot.
He said Rasputin.
I have never moved so fast in my entire life. I simultaneously stood up, turned around, gun up, light on, ready to shoot a ghost.
A waste of bullets. You don't do that.
I was hoping it was someone pranking me, but there wasn't anyone around me.
Technically, it would be even more dangerous if someone is pranking you. Like one bullet and then death.
I went and checked all of the adjacent rooms, but they were clear. So I broke an entire box of chem lights and tossed them all over the room, thinking, I'm gonna be able to see anything coming now. But that just gave the room a really eerie green glow.
Even more atmosphere.
Before, I couldn't see a single thing. Now, I think I'm seeing things moving because it's so dimly lit. I ended up spending the rest of my shift facing the room with my back against the window. I couldn't give a damn what was happening outside anymore. They could have had a VBID drive right up to us. I was more scared of the ghosts than anything. Another subscriber with the handle @GoodyTiger57, another Army vet who visited the same location, responded to his comment and his story with the following. The very first day we got to that mall, we were all like, holy hell, this place is really
the same
creepy.
place.
Like Shaun of the Dead times 100, and we were either late teens or barely old enough to drink, so obviously the first thing we did was go straight into the basement to check it out.
Why?
It was pitch black and really creepy. Didn't matter if we had guns. It still felt really scary. Out of our group, me and a few guys were the first to run out of there. Seen too many scary movies to stay there any longer. The last ones to leave kept saying they saw stuff, but we figured they were just messing with us.
They were more
because we
brave.
chickened out, and it was only month 1 out of 15 of our stay. Never really went back down there, as OP6 and the surrounding hallways were scary enough.
the first thing you do is go check the basement. Like what we will do when we first get a new house or something. Or if you check in a hotel, the first thing I will see is the toilet. For some reason, I just need the toilet needs to be clean.
Footsteps in the gravel.
What's the creepiest thing you've seen while you've been out here?
Dude, okay, so our terp, right?
What's a terp?
He told me a story the other day. So he was standing on the inside of these T-walls right here, right? And he said, I mean, like he saw a disembodied shadow, like a person, but like only from the waist up.
Bro.
Okay.
Just go right through the wall.
Damn.
I mean,
Yeah.
normal.
Creepy, man. And there was one of my corporals told me a story. You hear that, right?
Yeah.
Is that not you guys?
Hello?
What the hell?
Dude, where the hell is that coming from?
I don't know. Towards the Humvee?
I don't see anybody.
That's one loud footsteps.
This following submission was also submitted in the comments section from another one of your fellow viewers, who goes by the YouTube handle @JonathanGriffith7759. He writes, Iraq, 2011. We were at a patrol base no more than half a mile from the Iraq-Iran border. We'd black out the base at night for security with a single light at the smoke pit in the middle of the camp. The area surrounding the base had one of the highest casualty rates during the Iraq-Iran war in the 80s. First week there, I'm doing base security at the ECP with the alpha guy from the outgoing unit. It's 2 or 3 a.m., and we get on the topic of ghost stories.
Why?
He tells me
It's
how
the
our
witching
terp
hour.
saw a waist-up apparition disappear through a T-wall. How they started experiencing paranormal things after bringing back a piece of gear they found out on a patrol, and a few other stories. But so the base was covered in gravel to keep the dust down. And as he's telling me about all these things, about all these entities and these stories, we both hear footsteps walking across the gravel toward the Humvee.
Just between you and me, when we talk about ghost stories, it attracts them. Especially at night. So they might be 1 or 2 friends beside us. But seriously, yeah.
We can't see anything. We turn on our nods. Nothing. There's nobody around.
It really attracts them.
Just a super creepy place.
Like 1 or 2
Especially
stories is
walking around at
fine.
night in complete darkness with just your headlamp. Also had a constant feeling of being watched when we'd go out on night patrols.
Before we get to the next
That's
story,
why I
I
watch
want to
them
thank BetterHelp for sponsoring
sparingly.
this episode. So I served 9
BetterHelp.
years in the Marine Corps, and in 2015, I suffered a spine injury, which then resulted in my
Ouch.
medical retirement in 2017. Long story short, I started to feel very alone. I rarely ever left my house. I became very short-tempered with people,
This
especially
is
my family.
after.
I was having these angry outbursts. I was breaking things, followed by these complete emotional breakdowns.
The
Being newly
PTSD.
married and with a newborn child, my wife was not handling any of this well, which then made me feel even worse. The military has this way of ingraining a mindset of just get over it and move on. And so that's what I was trying to do for a long time. I was just trying to handle everything myself and just do.
Just like a lot of Asian countries on mental health. Just get over it. I think that nowadays it's better, but yeah, just get over it.
And what helped me was finally just having someone to talk to share my thoughts without judgment, and to get everything that was going on up here out here into reality where it could be dealt with. Go to our sponsor, betterhelp.com/wartime stories to get 10% off of your first month of therapy with BetterHelp and get matched with a therapist who will listen and help.
Online therapy
Demonic
thing.
children.
I don't know. It's like, it's so easy to ghost you if it's online.
Right. Keep going straight back. Yep. Keep going. Hey.
And stop.
Stop. Turn him over to the right.
This next story was emailed to me in April of last year by a soldier named Tyler. I'll skip his last name. There wasn't any mention of whether he wanted to remain anonymous or not,
No,
but he
just
can
skip
otherwise
his last
out
name.
himself in the comments if he likes. He writes, I was with Bravo 2506 101st Airborne. We were stationed in southern Baghdad in Fob Falcon, but were sent out to this little hole in the wall that we called the doghouse. Down Route Senators, off on Route Red Wings, which was southeast of Fob Falcon. The house, or doghouse, which it was called, was an IED make house that was taken over and made into a base run by our Delta company. Route Red Wings was this long, twisting road that finally split into a Y right at the doghouse, and we would have static patrols on this road just to have overlapping views along the whole length of the road. At the Y of the road, we had blocked it off, and we weren't allowed to drive farther south beyond OP Red. So we had these Jersey barriers set up on the roads to keep traffic
What's
from
a
coming up from the
Jersey
south.
barrier?
And one night, we were being relieved from our static positions, and from there we would go on QRF, a quick reaction force. We would back up our trucks into this driveway, and I was always the last truck to back in, so I would pull security down the two roads that were blocked off. Now, like most places,
Woof, woof.
the Iraqi homes, the buildings, they had these privacy walls around them, which are block walls with broken glass on top of them. And the area between the road and the wall was often this low scrub brush. So I sat there watching out over the roads and this brush. Now, mind you, it's about 03 in the morning.
Again, it's
So
always the
we're
witching
backing the
hour.
trucks up. I'm sitting up as the turret gunner with my 240 Bravo mounted on the Humvee. Complete darkness, using our nods, and we're acting as ground guides, telling the driver which way to go. Otherwise, we would drive off the driveway, and there was about a 3-foot drop. So you had to pay particular attention while doing this. And suddenly I spotted some movement in my nods.
It's glowing.
And I looked over to this wall in the scrub brush, and I saw this kid, about maybe 12 years of age,
It's always a
staring down at
kid.
the ground. What immediately struck me was that he seemed to be glowing.
They
There
really
was this
glow.
aura of white light all around him. Of course, I thought that was strange, so I immediately lifted up my nods, and I couldn't see him anymore. So I put my nods back down, and there he was, about 30 yards away.
Like, I heard about some people who can see that there's like different colors on ghosts. Like there's black color, there's red color, and there's white color, and etc.
And as I stood there looking at him, I couldn't help but think,
Yeah, it's very
wow,
interesting.
this kid's almost angelic. There's no
Yeah.
blemishes in this war-torn area in BFE.
Very
Now, these people were
shiny.
dirt poor, but this kid looks, like I said, angelic. Especially with this white light, this aura around
I
it.
think it's just the white light making
And
him
about this time, it
seem
was almost
angelic.
like this kid could hear what I was thinking, and he looked straight at me.
Oh,
He meeting my eyes, and he smiled, and then it happened. As
He
I was
ran?
looking at him, his
Ow.
face twisted. The only
man,
thing I
you
can
just
and
had
have
to
ever been
twist
able to
it.
compare it to was in the movie Passion of the Christ, where Judas betrays Jesus and all of the little kids' faces are all twisted and looking evil. That's the only thing I could think of. I have no other way to describe this child, if I could call it that. It turned and started to walk towards me.
Go,
And
back
I'm
off.
just thinking, what the hell is this?
Reverse.
And then, as if it could tell I was frightened, it began to jog and then went into a dead run right at me.
Yeah,
And I'm
reverse,
thinking,
bro.
I'm gonna have to shoot this thing.
Wow.
So I immediately bend down and pick up a sight picture through my nods and click the safety off and start to put pressure on the trigger. Now this thing is only about 5 feet away from my truck. And so the trucks that were backing up are having trouble maneuvering. So at that moment, they all turned on their headlights.
I see. Oh.
So this white light floods the whole area and my nod. So I'm blind for a second. And when I regain my picture through the nods, it's gone. So I click the safety back on the gun and I lean back into the turret.
You just want some light?
My
Let
medic
there be light.
heard me sigh, and he asked me what was wrong.
Then sigh.
And I told him that I thought I was going insane.
No, you're
Obviously,
not.
this all happened very quickly. We
It
finished
happens.
backing our truck into the parking location for QRF, and that's it. But for the next 3 consecutive nights, when I was on a sleep shift and
Dang.
had some kind of dream, I would have these recurring nightmares of this angelic boy demon.
Angelic boy
And
demon.
a few days after seeing this, we were
Choose
coming
one.
back down that road. We would be out at OP Red for 4 days at a time and then move back to Fob Falcon for a day and a half for refit. So now we were traveling back down the road in a convoy, and I was feeling lucky to be in the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
I had my turret at the 3 o'clock position, and as we were driving, I see a group of people with a young girl standing apart from the rest. She was about 20 yards to their right, back against
Again?
this privacy wall. And as we drove by, I had always made a habit of making eye contact with anyone I saw, but something just felt strange about this girl with her back against the wall. As we got closer, I noticed 2 things. One,
Wait.
she had
Shut the
jet
fuck
black
in.
eyes. And 2, where
Is
she
it
was
this
standing,
one?
there was a canal that ran right next to the wall.
Oh.
I realized there was nowhere for her to be standing.
I was blocking her, sorry.
This black-eyed little girl was hovering at ground level, staring a hole through me. And as this tree came between us, breaking my eye contact with her, and she had disappeared by the time I could see around the other side of the tree.
She's just
I don't know if
taking
anyone
out.
else saw this particular girl or the demon kid, but other guys in my outfit later told me about seeing similar things. I'm convinced that that land is cursed. This story really still freaks me out.
I mean, if it's a border, a war zone border, they had to be a lot of these apparitions and stuff. Mostly on war zones. Let's just say that life is very hard over there.
And I still get chills thinking about it.
I wonder what happened if you don't shine the headlights. It'll just run towards you.
The winged jinn.
Oh wait, before this is all Jinn.
Hey, Doc.
Wait, they call apparitions Jinn?
I heard about your family, so I hope you have a safe trip.
Damn, bro.
IED?
Careful,
What's
bro.
going on?
Hey, radio him up. See what's going on. Here you go. Hey, what's up? Why'd you stop?
Something flew in front of the HV.
What the hell?
What the hell did he just say?
Flew? In
Blue.
front of the HV?
Yes.
Did you guys see anything? No. We didn't see anything.
Does anyone hear that? Helo?
Where is that coming
Yes.
from? Yes, but I don't see it. Do the other 2 vehicles? Sergeant, what the hell am I
Hey,
looking
Sarge.
at right now?
We
Wait.
got something out here.
Oh,
I see it too.
shit, what is that? This last story
It
was
has
shared
wings.
online in 2020 by an Army medic serving in Iraq in 2006
That's
under
cool.
the user handle HavaDucky81. Like many who have shared similarly strange and unbelievable stories, she did say she expects people to disbelieve her. She said that in addition to not reporting this incident for obvious reasons, she and her fellow soldiers avoided sharing this story to avoid the ridicule. But She insists this story happened exactly as she describes it. She writes, "My unit in the US Army was deployed to Iraq in April of 2006. We were in Ramadi. It was 123 kilometers, 77 miles outside of Baghdad. I was in a Humvee heading to Baghdad for emergency leave due to a death in my family. It was close to midnight. The Humvee I was in had 3 others and a turret gunner. The 2 other Humvees with us had the same, 5 total people in each, with 1 truck in front of mine and 1 in back, so we're the truck in the middle. I didn't have my rifle due to having already been checked out on leave. So all of a sudden, the Humvee in front of us slams on the brakes hard. And we all figured it was a possible IED or VBIED. The team leader and our HV radioed the lead HV. Just then, in the desert off the highway, all of us saw what looked like a black figure. It looked like a huge bird.
That's
And it looked
kind
like
of
smoke
cool.
was emitting from it, a blackish,
But it
greenish
looks
smoke with a
sinister.
bit of a blue tinge. So we're all trying to focus our nods on what we're seeing, and the 2 troops in our truck that had better nods than anybody else said they could see something but couldn't make out what it was. The smoke was distorting the view, and within a second or two, a rock was then thrown at one of the HV, and it was a big rock, like the size of someone's head,
Hey,
and we all froze.
it's not friendly.
So due to rules of engagement, we couldn't just light it up. So we used a spotlight on it, and in that light, whatever this thing was, it just flew straight up, and simultaneously we heard a loud screeching noise.
Screeching noise.
All of this happened very quickly.
Okay, get it. If you see anything, you just shine the flashlight on it. It'll immediately disappear.
We all sat there in a state of mingled shock, curiosity, and what? Panic? And what the hell was that thing? When we got
Just
to Baghdad,
shine.
we rendezvoused with, there was an Iraqi
what is
translator
this?
that they were picking up to bring to the Marines that were with
Is
us.
this the thing that flies?
And he told us quite plainly, it sounds like you encountered an Efreet.
Ifrit,
One of
like
the
the
team
one
leaders
in Final
responded, "A what?"
Fantasy.
An Efreet, this guy said, a winged jinn.
Okay.
We were all
I thought they were like fire monsters thing, fire creatures, but they fly.
a bit speechless. And we chose not to disclose to our command this winged thing that we saw. Battle fatigue, now more commonly known as PTSD, that was a career killer at this juncture.
Ah,
It's been 13 years since this happened. I met my now husband in 2015, a fellow soldier.
wait, he
And
saw it too?
coincidentally, he had also been deployed to Ramadi with my sister unit, 26 Infantry Division at the time. He had also passed down this particular stretch of highway on his mid-deployment leave. He eventually recounted a story to me about something he saw, which completely shocked me
The same
because
thing?
it was very similar to my story.
Wow.
With the exception that they never stopped. They just said screw it, and they just boogied on through. They didn't stop the vehicles.
Smart.
I was a medic, so death was my daily norm, especially considering the time we were there was very deadly,
Ah.
including an aid station manned by soldiers that was ambushed and blown to bits.
Ouch.
I still can't wrap my head around this. But it didn't end in Iraq. I think something followed me home, not sure what, although I've often wondered if it might have been a soldier, one of the ones I
no.
couldn't save.
No.
Because now, the last 2
Oh,
places
that's
we've
kind of
lived
sad.
in, something has followed us from each place.
Almost didn't see that smoke. So it's like a guardian, the Ifrit, a guardian of that particular place, or like the souls that's been there that merge into one big creature thing. I have good imagination. Jeez. Watch too many and read too many mangas.
For the living, death is an awful thing to bear witness to. And certainly that is much more the case when it is to the degree that an army medic or any of these soldiers encountered it. It weighs heavy on the mind, long after the experience has ended. Sleep deprivation and hallucinations are often attributed to many stories like these, along with combat trauma. And of course, that is within the realm of possibility when it is something that only one person is seeing. So what about what these soldiers saw?
Everyone saw the same thing.
What comes to my mind is what the character Hamlet once so eloquently put it to his obstinate friend. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. Whether from the creative and abjectly curious mind of Shakespeare more than 400 years ago, or from the minds and memories of the soldiers who have lived and breathed these strange experiences in much more recent years, the subject of death has long remained a question mark for mankind. As the aggrieved figure of Hamlet stated while contemplating his own demise with a sharp bodkin in hand, he called death an undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns. But had Shakespeare encountered what these soldiers have described, creatures that can sometimes be seen and sometimes not,
that's why it's interesting.
perhaps he would have reconsidered that possibility. That of something traveling back and forth between the veil that separates us, the living and breathing, from the unknown.
Very philosophical. Desert horrors. What is this? Wait, it's me. Kinda, but it's me. It's a fox. It's a kitsune. If you made it till the end, congrats for surviving the story. Your bravery has gone up by 1. And we'll see you again on Monday for the Fire Department Chronicles continue. Bye bye.